Okay, so factors of production, and this will be a really short subtopic. So there are four factors of production that we have to look at, and let's just get right to it. So basically, factors of production generally are factors that help you produce. You don't so no real complication in understanding that. But let's go to the first one. So the first factor of production is land, and a common misconception is when you think of land, you only think of like square footage, like वो plot ले ले that I can produce. No, we'll define land as so all gifts of nature. Here you include land, forests, minerals, um, fish from streams, or oh, sorry, not streams, from rivers, and all of that type of stuff, right? So this would include renewable and non-renewable resources, etc., etc. It's not just square footage where you can set up a factory on, right? If you're drilling to find oil, the factor of production that you're making the use of with regards to fire, the oil itself is land. Okay, so the second one is labor. We can call this the mental and physical um, effort uh, of a human resource. Um, I mean, if you want an example for this, like like example, you could call it a teacher. That's a pretty decent example. We have a lot of examples for land, and yeah, that's pretty. The idea here is that the labor is what constitutes the workforce of the economy, which are the people that are based. The proper definition will come in A2, but basically the people which are either going to be employed or unemployed, and that's basically it. There's not really anything really complicated with factors of production. You just need to know what they are, right? Lands or basically all gifts of nature. Labor is just the mental and physical effort of your human resources, right? Then you have capital, and a huge misconception with capital is that it's just machines. No. So the way we'll define capital is like it's like all man made products that aid the production process. So basically, you produce something, it's man made, that further helps produce other things. And in examples for this, you can include, machines, but you also include stuff like infrastructure and other things, like related to this. So basically, anything that really helps you further produce other goods and services, right? That aids in the production process. That's true for machines. That's true for infrastructure. That might be true for dams and stuff of that sort. The last one is the one that they question the most, perhaps. It's enterprise. So enterprise, basically your entrepreneur is an individual who takes risks, and he produces these goods and services. He combines all the other three factors. So enterprise, this would these are individuals that combine the other three factors. So like the other three factors by themselves, they won't do much, right? You need someone who's going to step up and basically start production and combine the other factors of production. So to combine the other three factors of production and direct them along production lines. And the reason they do so is because they take risks associated with this and produce goods and services in anticipation of demand. The one thing's crucial here, and they ask this is a very common question. You wouldn't find this factor of production in a planned or a command economic system. However, it would be very important, and perhaps the most important factor here in a market economic system. There's just one more thing left with factors of production. So we'll just use a different color for that. So let's go with green. All of these factors, they earn income, and when you're talking about them, when you're defining them, perhaps in an 8-mark question or wherever, you need to know what sort of income they earn. So with land, it earns rent. With labor, it earns wages. Don't write salary, because the idea is um, economics as it dictates, you should just try to employ a factor of production in a manner that you're not committing too much, where you can easily either employ more, or if demand decreases, just employ less. So you want something like an hourly wage rate, and you just pay them at the them wages of the particular amount of hours they work. That's why you would write rent with land. You wouldn't write a proper payment for actually purchasing all of it. For capital, because you normally lease it out, you don't buy it again. So because you're trying to ensure that you can really just increase or decrease the amount you have as you wish, and not jump into such a large commitment. So if you're leasing it out, you're going to capital is going to earn interest, and with enterprise, it earns profit. Um, a good example of an entrepreneur, well, usually a lot of entrepreneurs are the owners of the businesses that they set up. So again, so for them, the benefit that they're going to achieve, what the income that they earn, is profit. For capital, the income that it earns, it's interest and wages and rent and so on. And that's just basically it for factors of production.